Back in business. Turn my beats down. My Twitch approved beats. And say welcome to whoever's watching, wherever you are in the world. Whether it be 3 p.m. or 2 in the morning. Welcome to CG Spectrum's illustration block. I am your host, Eric Wilkerson, and for the next hour and 50 minutes or so, I am going to be painting a kid's face. And some fun with that. So, if you're new to the channel, I am an illustration mentor for CG Spectrum, and I am both a traditional oil painter and a digital painter, digital illustrator. So, I'll be approaching this the same way I pretty much would if I were to be using oil. And so if anybody has any questions about my process or why I'm in a dark room wearing a pretty cool Darth Vader t-shirt, ask away. Otherwise, I am going to just jump right in and paint some stuff, some happy little trees and whatnot. So, alright. I said I'm going to be painting happy little trees. The viewer numbers drop dramatically. I'm just kidding, I'm not going to be happy little trees. You can come back now. Testing, how's that? Husky, can you hear me? Husky, please tell me you can hear me. I could talk into the mic. Deep baritone voice. Kinda? Okay. So let me just jump in. If people can't hear me, I will just play with the settings in OBS and hope for the best. Not really sure what else to do. Much better, thanks. All right, perfect. think I got a little too excited with those streaming beats, and mixed with my complete lack of knowledge of OBS. I would experiment with OBS and Twitch a little bit more, but then you just have CG Spectrum's feed would just be full of 30-second videos of me with my nose in the camera. Nobody needs that. Freaking out, like saying, "Is this working? Working?" I have to get my own. I have to make my own Twitch channel. Experiment. See how that works out. Still haven't figured out a way to allow you to see my brush window and toolbox and stuff. I'm sure it's a quick fix, but I gotta do it. So just glad that people are able to see what I'm actually working on, even if they can't see my tools. Yeah, I'm gonna have to, I'm curious if those test accounts, are those searchable, or are they hidden from view unless you want people to see it? Because I feel like somewhere, some super popular concept artist has just a blooper reel full of themselves cursing into a microphone because they don't understand OBS, and I need to watch that Twitch stream. I feel like it would just be hilarious. I also forgot that there is something like a minute to 2-minute delay between what I say and it's actually broadcast. So if I ask a question, I know it takes a minute. To hear, to respond or something. Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. It's cool. I have to find the time. I bought a Stream Deck. In my hotkeys. And I was watching other streams, seeing how people were using these Stream Decks. I felt like the stupid kid in the lunchroom that doesn't get to sit with the cool kids because he doesn't have the right lunchbox or something. So immediately went and got my deck, which I have no idea how to use, but that's fine. There's a YouTube video for everything. So if anybody's watching this and you're wondering to yourself, well, why doesn't he paint the face first? Well, my approach to some of this stuff, to painting a figure, any kind of character design, is first to block in the environment, base tone of the environment, and colors for the costume, or whatever their wardrobe is, because that informs the colors that I use for the face. For example, if I just started painting a face against a white surface, a white background, all of the values of the skin, clothing, and all that stuff would be relative to that white background. So highlights, shadows, all of it would have to be consistent with the background color being white. But if I were to change this, if I was to change the temperature of the background to make it like dark blue, nighttime scene, then I can't really have his skin tone be orange or something. Like, would have to feel like it is, his skin is in that environment. So like, with this, I want there to be something like a dusk lighting scheme. So he's going to have cool shadows, warm highlights, all that stuff in the face, and then that same temperature shift has to happen in the clothing. So that there's a question that that's cool. This is all more or less block. To this. So, starting with shadows. Really just come in and attack it. Have any digital painters in the room? What do you guys do? Artists? Are you just stalking? What brings you here today? Character designer, but self-taught. Always learn more. Hello, Fatima. Here to learn more and get tips and tricks, mostly about composition and color picking. Okay, so right. So when it comes to color, my suggestion is to figure out first what time of day, where and when does the action in your composition take place. because it's not just about color, it's about light. It always comes down to the light. Once you know what time of day your piece takes place, let's say it takes place on Earth a certain time of day. Because if we don't say on Earth, just say on an alien planet or something like that, then you can make the sky green and nobody can say anything, because then that's just the color of the atmosphere. Gases and whatnot, the atmosphere that give it that tint. But Earth has 3 or 4 like different distinct colors to the sky depending on the time of day. And so if we said dusk, anywhere between 5 and 8 p.m., then you just automatically know you're going to get warmer hues, oranges, purples, magenta colors in the sky. All of that is going to inform how you face, what the reflected light and shadows look like, and that. So then you can, once you have that information, then you can go online, go to Google, go to some stock photography site, and then just type in sunsets or people at dusk, or something like that. And then all of the photos of things like that will pop up. And I tend to just sample directly from that reference, because if I know what the ambient light looks like, or what the color temperature of a white shirt looks like in the shadow side of a body. Like if the sunlight is hitting the front of the face, if the sunlight is hitting a face, right, then the back of that person at dusk, back of their clothing is going to be a cool blue, cool violet color. So there's something. I wish to transition into an art career in the near future. I'm so tired. Husky. Gosh. What time is it where you are? Where are you? First off, where are you located? And what time is it? So I tend to paint a lot of my piece on one layer. Like the figure is all going to be. Then I paint out, I'll create another layer over top of my line. Give me action on. Paint done. Now I'm tired. So I create another layer over top of my line so that I can paint out the line work and kind of unify this base layer that is like going to end up being the entire painting here today. I don't tend to separate my rendering. Like, t-shirt is on one layer, the arms are on another layer, the head's on a different layer. That's just chaos, and my brain can't handle that balancing act, trying to figure out what layer. You typically find if somebody is doing a digital painting and they are using a bunch of layers and they're not labeling or naming their layers, that it's very, very easy, especially if you separate a character into parts and start rendering those parts individually. Head, shirt, arms, legs, eyes, all in separate layers. You find it very easy to have an accident, get into a groove and start rendering and realize you're on the wrong. That's a nightmare. Especially if you don't realize it. There's a really funny meme. Characters from Road to El Dorado, DreamWorks film. And one of the characters says, "Stop, you must stop. You're on the wrong layer." You see the king in the has this dumbfounded look on his face. It was pretty, but I guess it doesn't really. One of those had to be there, had to have seen the film. Jokes, but Italy currently in the Canaries for island or for work. It's 8:30, but we had to do time. Oh man, smokes. Well, I am glad that you're able to join us today. Had a few students from Italy. One from Tuscany. I don't know how far that is from you are now. Hope you're staying safe and nobody's breathing on you, 'cause that's how you get sick. Human beings, time breathing each other's spit. Oh, bless your heart, Fatima. Thank you so much. Saved. Woo! Good looking out. That's what I love about my watchers here, my chat peoples. Don't let anybody go too long without saving that file. So I will forget in a minute. So right now I'm thinking about, this is my block-in time. So I mean, I could technically just come in here and just put a wash down on the entire thing and remove the line art and just kind of eyeball it and paint into it in a haphazard way and be like one of those people you see on the YouTube videos where they're constantly flipping and rotating and erasing and repainting the thing halfway through and all that, trying to get it right. I don't have time for all that. That's a lot of extra. So I'm kind of in that do it right the first time mode. So I work out my values, my colors, all that stuff. And so Fatima, if you're working on a piece and you ever want to check and see if your values are correct, but you want to direct paint it in color, instead of doing a gray tone, a grayscale illustration, and then try to paint it color afterwards using like overlays and colors, color blend modes and things like that, you can just create a hue and saturation adjustment layer and drop it down. So that way you'll get to see if your character, the values on your body, on the face, or whatever it is, pop. Is it good? Does it stand out? Does it all blend together? So, and like as you work on a piece, just keep that saturation adjustment layer above everything and just toggle it off and on as you grow, as you work. It's a huge time saver. Because I was telling one of my students, if you are, there's nothing wrong with starting off in grayscale. If you want to, like if you're doing concept art and need to be able to do multiple iterations with different colors and different costumes and things like that, it makes sense to do a piece in grayscale. But for me, if I'm doing an illustration, it's typically something that the client has already approved. They've already approved the sketch, so the color sketch, so they know what they're going to get. And so I don't waste my time trying to do the whole thing in grayscale and then paint it again in color, because at that point it just feels like I'm painting the same thing 3 times if I count the color sketch. That's just exhausting. So the same way I learned how to paint traditional oils, building it up from dark to light, starting with the shadows, midtones, and then the highlights. So doing it like that kind of guarantees a certain level of balance to the piece. Makes sense. One of my art teachers used to ask me that, used to say that all the time. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? I would always wonder, are you asking me, or if I comprehend what you're saying, or are you asking me to make sure that what you said was properly conveyed? But I never said that to the guy. No, man, you tell me. Does it make sense? So this is a controlled palette that I use when I'm digital painting. I have my flesh tone palette, polar desaturated flesh tone palette, Orientalis. I want a red. Need to get the cheeks. I need to get a reddish color for the cheeks. So just grab those two values. Back in here. Fatima is saying I usually start off with base colors, then start playing with layer modes. Usually set on multiply to work with shadows. Oh wait, hold on. I'm behind on the chat. Missing some good chat. Oh, listen again. Pop this out. Pop out. Husky, you work on a cruise ship which is completely isolated from external contacts. Whoa. That's good. Man, wow. So Fatima's asking, do you always prefer working with the brush to color? No base solid color and then applying different shades? Yeah, I always prefer that. I'm not one of those people that is going to start a painting and then just do like one coat of like purple or something like that over the whole thing and then start painting into it. I tend to approach it piece by piece, like figuring out what my colors are going to be and then just going in what my shadows, what my midtones, what my highlights are going to be for each piece, whether it's the shirt, whether it's the head, the hair, all that stuff, and then just laying in that color, just dropping that color into the base layer. So I turn off the line, I have something that feels painted. Feels paint, has a nice painterly feel to it. Then I use my smudge tool as a dry brush. So anybody that's familiar with oil painting you would blend your colors. You would blend your colors for your piece with a clean, dry brush. So I am just like, I have this hard line, right? This hard transition between this value and this value. So I'm just coming in, just feathering it, smoothing it all out. So in that sense, like, I don't have to paint over line work there. That's just all. It gives the piece a nice cohesive feel, me at least, to be able to blend to a nice level, nice spot, all in one. So that makes sense. So Husky, so you chose the cruise line industry just in case there is a zombie outbreak. That's smart thinking. But at some point in time or another, you're gonna have to dock. That's when they get you. But that's when the screw up on board goes to make out with his girlfriend at the abandoned cantina around the corner. They both get bit, try to hide it, get back on board. The next thing you know, you got a full-blown outbreak on board the ship. Only true way to survive the zombie apocalypse is to be rich and buy your own island and be a vegan. So that way you don't have to go anywhere. Drink coconut juice and live off of plants. I've put exceedingly way too much thought into that, but you're welcome. So right now I am just painting this in at a decent size. Like on my Cintiq, the head is roughly the size of my fist. So, but if I zoom in at 100%, zoom. Oh, my plan for getting rich and buying my own island is going along swimmingly. It's just that the price of an island is, a couple $100 million. Like a small island that nobody wants. So then there's this pesky problem of there being people already living on it. So you gotta chase them off. Say, well, wouldn't life be nicer for you if you just lived in the Bahamas? Go to the Bahamas. Let me have this. You go live somewhere else. And they wanna fight me. Say that this is their island, their country. No, I have time for trying to survive this zombie apocalypse. People arguing over who was here first. Got time for that. And I'd have to make a deal. Look, okay, we can all live here as long as we agree that I'm running things and we're all going to be vegan so that nobody has to leave the island. They would probably try to kick me out. Next thing you know, I'd wake up on a boat, floating out in the middle of the ocean somewhere. Still completely safe from the zombie apocalypse, but now food source. See, land just goes pretty sour pretty quick. So what I've come to the conclusion is that I probably have to buy an island and share it. Hope that nobody. But it also depends on what kind of zombies we're talking about. We're talking 28 days later zombies, or are we talking Walking Dead zombies? Because like a brisk walk, you can avoid Walking Dead zombies. It's 28 days later zombies. My bet is that those things know how to swim, so it doesn't really matter, and climb, so it doesn't really matter where you go, how tall the boat is, how high you are. They'll get you. Husky, you gotta get some rest, man. Sounds like you're just totally burnt out. See, now it starts to, as I build it up, it starts to, even without the line work, we start to get a face in there. And a face that feels like it is being hit by that warm afternoon sun. Mainly because of the fact that there is a warm highlights, warm midtones, cool shadows, and reflected light in the shadow, cool blue light temple. So I'll end up putting more of that actually into the evening. Like all of this base layer stuff that I'm doing is my roadmap, so that when I come into this on, I can just start painting, just attacking. Real Mad Mojo, hey there, Eric. It's a bit hard to hear you over the sound of the background music. Oh, my beats. Okay, no beats. Here. Oh, actually, turn it down. Let me turn the beats down. My beats were too sick for you. I understand. It's okay. Is that better? Will we maybe get your mic turned up? Is it turned down slightly? Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's no problem. Sorry. Still trying to figure out that sweet balance between in audio quality. But thanks for that out for me. Appreciate it. So, Real Bad Mojo, where are you from? Where are you first time caller? I don't remember popping in before. Welcome to the stream. Cool. All right. Well, welcome. This is the illustration block. So if you have any questions about digital painting or anything like that, please feel free to ask away. And also tell us, are you artist or DJ or something? What do you? What's your thing? Says, I'm primarily a designer and programmer, but I'm trying to work on my art style skills a bit more. Fairly competent in Photoshop for basic things like buttons and whatnot, but would definitely like to improve the artistic side of things over technical art. I tell my students, Photoshop, there's like 1,000 ways to do everything in Photoshop. So even though there's a bunch of different mentors here at CGS Spectrum, we all don't paint the same way. We all don't use this program the same way. But we get results that satisfy us. So, I mean, this program was definitely not designed, ever meant for anybody to be doing. That was not the original intention of Photoshop. It's to remove the mole off of somebody's forehead after you photograph. You just remove that mole off my... Yeah, I'll get it in Photoshop. That's what it was all for. That was it. Pretty sure there was a couple other things, but... If you have time, there's a there is a photographer that has photoshopped himself into a bunch of Kendall Jenner's photos of herself. Like, he wears a matching shirt, matching wardrobe to whatever it is that she's got on, and his lighting, his photography skills, the way he composes it is so dead on that you would think he was actually standing right next to her. You've seen that? That is incredible. And I say, my God, this guy has got to be doing this professionally somewhere. This is not a hobby for him. Because if it is, some ad agency is going to snatch him up so fast. Pretty sure he's like a seasoned pro with that program. But see, Fatima, what I'm doing right now is like I've blocked in my form, blocked in my face in that one. So a lot of the work I'm doing right now is just feathering the edges, and I'm doing my actual painting, blending the form, turning the form in space as it goes from warm to cool, and more recessed areas in the eye socket, So like the shadows, the temperature of the shadow in there changes, all that stuff. I'm doing that all with the smudge tool right now. Just tapping into it. Now, this is what works for me. Somebody else might sit there and just painstakingly keep painting over the same area again and again and again until they get some smooth transitional form. And I don't have time for that. So for me, it's about attacking painting what little time I have to do it. So Blockhorst, hello. Thanks for the awesome stream. I'm a welder, but I'm learning art and want to make it my job in the future. I'm taking all the advice I can get. Wow, cool. Well, welcome, man. Mojo, you're asking, are you taping it down? Clicking button on points or while you smudge? Oh, are you tapping it down? Oh, clicking the button. No. I mean, I'm not using a mouse. I have my Wacom pen. I'm on a Cintiq, so I have my Wacom pen, and yeah, I'm just tapping and dragging. So just like if I was to be writing. So like this line here, this let's look at this value right here for underneath the jaw, and then this lighter tone for the neck. I want to blend these two to get a nice smooth transition. So I'm pressing down, and I'm not letting up off of the screen right now. Just zigzagging into it, up and down, tap in again, tap, 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 up and down until I have a nice smooth blend. Now, if I were to be painting this in oils, I would be doing the exact same thing with a dry brush. So, I mean, 90% of what I do, I just told you like exactly how I paint. There's after that, there's really no secret sauce to it. There's no filters or anything like that. You just have to know how to paint. You just have to know what you're doing. And I mean, it's practice. Like everything, it's practice. But like I love to to do that stuff. So now for me, I can come in here at this point and paint out the line work around the face, or I can create a layer mask around certain parts that I feel don't need to be painted over, and I can just erase sections out. I don't feel like I need to go back in over that cheek, so I can just erase it. Same thing in there. So if anybody is interested in seeing more of work or what I do, you can follow me on Instagram. It's Eric Wilkerson Art, and you'll see what I do. Get a chance to see what I do outside of teaching, and I've done and stuff. So I'm gonna get back into just blazing, trying to blaze through as much of this as I can. Covered a lot of ground in the past minutes, 45 minutes or so, which is cool. No, it looks weird. There's half a face there, but I'll now that I have a general idea of where the piece is going, I can go back into it, finish attacking it. Okay. So I'm going to do something that I haven't done in the 10 or so times that I've actually done this stream. I'm actually going to stand up for a minute and stretch. So, because the butt's getting numb. I don't know if I'm allowed to say butt on Twitch, but I'm pretty sure there'll be a banned little icon on. My posterior is numb. About that, I'll just say that. So I will be right back. Right. Back in business. And everybody's still here. It's so awesome. You didn't say what? What's numb? I'm out. Alright, so I even took a moment to eat an orange, and now my fingertips smell like oranges. Like TMI, man, TMI. Slather orange, sticky orange juice like all over my screen. My Cintiq. Awesome. It's cracking. Try and just block out the rest of this face in the next couple minutes, and then just start trying to render out some stuff. I have a really cool timer that I use. Sometimes I actually set the timer on my phone. I mean, it's a good exercise to try when you're practicing drawing something, is to set a time limit for yourself. Say, okay, well, I'm going to draw this, but I'm only going to spend 15 minutes on it. Or going to draw this, but I'm only going to spend half an hour or an hour or whatever it might be. Because if you give yourself that time constraint, you'll be economical with your time, how much effort put into rendering a face or details on whatever small part of a composition. Because if it's not the focal point, if it's not the most important part of the scene, of the image, why are you investing so much time on it, right? So I set a timer on my phone. I have been setting a timer on my phone for like 25 to 30 minute increments and saying, okay, or sometimes less than that, maybe 10 minutes, saying, okay, well, the final rendering of this ear is only getting 10 minutes of my time or less. And you can try to challenge yourself and say, well, how much of this can I get done in 10 minutes, 5 minutes? The more you do it, the faster you'll get. And at some point, you just be like super fast when it comes to doing this stuff. Husky, take care of yourself, and you know, hope that zombies don't board your ship. It's gonna happen, man. It's gonna happen. Just make sure you're not asleep when it does. I guess he's gonna go back to his cabin. See, actually on some good Wi-Fi. So I'm supposed to be using larger brushes. Attack more area at once. Instead of nitpicking things at this point. It's a good way. I want that warm, kind of pulled up light, pulled up color in his cheeks, blood in his cheeks. Doesn't have to be red, it just has to be a warmer shade of muted orange. Create a new layer above all of this. I think it's in a good space for me to just start blocking it. Got some of that line. I tend to use the same brush. Like this brush that I have right now gives me a nice painterly look that I would get from either a flat or a filbert paintbrush. And if I want to get into the details of the eyes and all that stuff, I would use a round brush, just a basic round brush, because that gives me as close to it's an exact replica of what a simple round brush would be. So Bill Bad Mojo is asking, what were you looking at? Switch to the grayscale view. Just checking. Oh, checking my values. So making sure that checking to see if the lights were light enough, the darks were dark enough, and some areas I'm probably going to go in and push it a little bit more. Just to that make sense. I want this to pop. I want the face to have a certain look to it. So, like, looking at this now, I feel like I could probably increase the highlight on his cheek. So, very simple way to do that is just to use the dodge tool at a low exposure percent, selecting the midtones, just ever so slightly, just come in and kiss it. But I mean, his skin tone is also pretty fair, right? So I mean, and I don't want there to be any kind of real specular highlights outside of what's on his nose, because I don't want his face to feel wet or too oily or something like that. So yeah, got it. So So instead of painting out some of these lines, I'm just erasing them because I achieved what I needed to achieve. That road, I no longer need that roadmap. So just going to get rid of it. And since I'm painting a kid, I have to be very careful about age lines and making him look too old, and people get picky about that. So even if you see a kid with a frown on their face or something, if you're trying to paint that, you have to be take artistic license with how much of those creases do you show. Spend a lot of time squinting at the screen, squinting at painting, checking to see if my colors are right, values are right. Also spending a lot of time painting stuff in, glazing at a lower opacity. Always keeping in mind that I want that cool reflected light in the shadow. I hope everybody's Friday is going good. That all safe and healthy and whatnot. Finish blocking this kid's face. Right now, if I take the line out, it's got no eyeballs and no mouth. So let's correct that. Lock horse, you have. Holy smokes. My kid hits the ground running at 5 a.m. He doesn't care how much sleep you got. It's time to get up. So. Oh. I'm painting this thing on pure adrenaline right now. Because if I stop too long, I will just like face plant right into my Cintiq. I don't know if that would be entertaining or if like all of a sudden I'd get like a bunch of new people watching. Hey, come here, like what? Look, this guy just passed out right in the middle of his stream. Like maybe if we make fun of him in the chat, he'll wake up. So, you know, nightly news. Local man from United States passes out during Twitch stream. 11. That would never be. Remembering to save is important. Are there rules against me eating a granola bar while I Twitch? Or is it referred to as streaming? Is it okay to eat a granola bar while I stream? 250 calories. Man. Okay, guess I'm not eating it. Just have to waste away while painting for amusement. Hey, Real Bad Mojo, take care, man. Take care. Have a, and I don't know if you're a guy or a girl, but have a good evening. Safe. So the one thing about eyes, I see students do this a lot. I see younger painters, beginning painters do this a lot. Is they think of the eye as being whites of the eyes being actually, but it's actually that white of the eye is actually focal color. So if it's reflecting the colors around it, it's going to be like, what if it's going to be blues, it's going to be warms, it's going to be whatever the color is around that eye. Whatever light is hitting the face is going to also affect the temperature, color of the eye. So and more often than not, especially if you're working with warmer palette, the pupil, not the pupil, whites of the eye are actually just some of the same values as what are in actual flesh tone. So, but they just look brighter compared to the colors around. Makes sense. Here I go again. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't make any sense. Same. So. Just sitting and painting a portrait, whether it's in oils or digital, is probably some of the most satisfying time I can spend art. And I think that, I mean, I spent a good couple of streams, because I do this once a week, on Fridays. And spent the past couple of sessions trying to figure out what this stream should be. Whether I was going to work on an illustration, try to bring something to more of a finish, but doing a full illustration the way I work would just be, it'd be too much to try to get done in kind of reasonable amount of time, especially if I was only working on it 2 hours a week. It's only 8 hours a month. 8 hours on an illustration, you could honestly only have finished the color sketch in that time. So, or one small corner of an overall paint. So it's not realistic to think that ever hold anybody's attention working on a piece 2 hours a week. So, but doing little vignette portraits like this, I think, is a fun use of my time. I mean, allows anybody that's new to the stream to just walk in and grab some coffee or whatever. Maybe pick my brain about color and junk. Allows anybody that's lurking to spend time allows them to lurk. Trying to get the mouth right. Smile. Covered a lot of ground in a very short amount of time. Satisfied with that. I'll go for a couple more minutes, finish up this chin, and if anybody else has any questions or anything, just chime in. My guess is that the remaining people watching this aren't actually watching it. They are currently streaming something on Netflix, and this just happens to be playing in the background on their... I totally forgot that it was running. I'm gonna come back and be like, oh man, that guy actually covered a lot of stuff. I should watch more. I'll say, yeah. That would be cool. I tried watching some famous concept artist stream once while I was fixing my kids' breakfast, and then the streamer started cursing like on their stream. Whoa. It's prison. Can't be dropping F-bombs. Can't you just make art without all that extra? I guess everybody talks differently. There's really like no disclaimer that says women and children under the age of blah 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 should not be present. Out. Black Horse. Right. You might have often got a sandwich or something. soft transitions in the face. Can't be any hard lines or anything that makes the face look too old or old at all because it's a kid. But like if I were to pull out from that, it all tightens up. Good. Going. Get this last transitional value between the neck and highlight and the shadow here. Going opacity to get that half tone between the, trying to do Adam's apple kind of business going on. Just going. And the way I do my digital painting, I can blend my colors like as I'm painting, and it has a nice feel to it, like nice buttery kind to it. Smudge tool, just blow that out. Edge is right. All of these halftones. I mean, it's in a good spot now after hour and a half, hour or so. It's 2 hours of painting. This used to take me so much longer to do when I wasn't as confident about outcome or my process. My process was still all over the place. I was still trying to figure myself out and figure out like how I wanted to paint. And but once I kind of settled in on process and I got confident with the results, and had companies start contacting me about doing what I do, then I kind of relaxed a bit and said, oh, you know what? I actually do know what I'm doing. And that fear kicks in, and you feel a certain way. You don't know if what you're doing is right. You should even be doing it at all. Messes with your confidence and everything. So if you're watching this and you're trying to practice digital painting, it doesn't look anything like what you're seeing right now, don't lose hope. Don't stress out. Don't freak out. Just practice. You know, like nobody learning to be an Olympic gymnast does the triple decker, triple Lindy flips on their first try, right? That takes years of practice. There you go. So guys, I'm gonna leave it there. I think it's got no eyeballs, but at least it's a full face from where we started. So so next week I'll probably do another face and talk about stuff and junk. So join me there. Join me next Friday, same time, same channel. And if you want to see more of what I do, go to Eric Wilkerson Art, Spotify. I don't sing. On Instagram. I crave followers. Bring me followers. I will give you your money or something. I don't know. All right. So everyone, have a great weekend. Cartoon Network will be binging, be playing Teen Titans Go all weekend, so you guys know what I'll be doing. Think about where you will be tomorrow, and it will be so. Ended it on a Gladiator quote.